From the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, WGN Sports on the U presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Juan Pierre, Alexa Ramirez in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Adrian Beltre and the Boston Red Sox. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this four-game set. As you know, the Sox have taken two of the first three. We lost the opener 6-1. Clay Buchholz was just really good. And then we won game 2 5-4, coming back from a 3-0 deficit. And then last night, it was a 5-2 score. So the Sox come in at 85 and 73, 12 games over. And tonight, a couple of good left-handers on that bump.
I'm really excited about this matchup because John Danks, who has a career high with 14 wins, going for number 15 tonight, he's thrown pretty well lifetime against the Sox. And this is a guy that's having his best year. Probably could have been a little better like some of these Sox pitchers. But all in all, it's been very successful for him, and I'm looking for more of the same tonight. John Lester going to the mound, trying to win his 20th game of the year. He's 19-8. His ERA is below 3. He's become the ace of this Red Sox staff. This is a great, talented left-hander who's overcome cancer. It's a terrific story, and he's a good young pitcher. Hopefully tonight we'll be able to deny him his 20th win and win 3 or 4 from the Red Sox.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Sensational season, and of course he's going to be a free agent. And prior to the game, Paul talked about his position.
5 years ago, it was to come back here. Everything that was involved, all the moving parts to it, that were in my life then, was to come back here. And you know where it'll be this time around, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to find out as we go. But it definitely isn't just that you've been in one place for a long time or the number of years in a contract or the money. There's so many little factors to it. It's not just all of one thing or all of another. I mean, there's all these little pieces that fit into it that where you say, okay, this makes sense to me. This is a good decision to go do this. You take, get all the input you can and you make that same decision. I'll do the same thing this time around. My goal as a player coming into the league when I was in the minor leagues, was to play in one place for 10 years straight at one position. That was the only goal I ever had because I knew if I did that, all the other stuff would come along with it. Whether it be the numbers or the money or whatever comes along with that, it would all, if I accomplished that goal, that I would get the most out of a big league career. And I've done that here. I've done it with 2 years to boot. So I feel lucky. I feel fortunate that they've wanted me. I also wanted to be here. All I can hope is that I had a good year and that puts me in a position that maybe people want to call. But that's just not me to be talking like I'm not going to be having a special to announce where I'm going to be playing or anything.
And we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this.
Scudero leading off, then it's McDonald, Martinez, Adrian Beltre, who's had a wonderful run this year, then Lowell, Lowry, Kalish, Hall, and Anderson. The defense, as they line up behind John Danks, Pierre Jones, and Diaza. In the infield, Morel, Ramirez, Lillibridge, and Viciedo. Castro behind the plate, and it's Johnny Danks on the hill. His record, 14-11. His ERA, 3.74, on for his 32nd and final start of the year. And he's had overall a very good year. It's a beautiful night for baseball, and the umpires. Darrell Cousins behind the plate, Jim Wolf at first, Jim Joyce is at second, and Marvin Hudson is at third. So with weather conditions for fall just about perfect, and the wind always a factor, most likely will carry the ball toward left and left center field. John Danks is just about ready to go. So it won't be an overwhelming win tonight, but still very much a factor here. So as the Sox throw the ball around the infield, we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here with WGN Sports on the U. So happy you can join us for the finale of this series. As you know, as we talked about in the opening, Sox have taken 2 of the first 3. So Marco Scudero, he of the pain in the behind Scuderos to White Sox pitching, will lead it off. He's 4 for 9 in this series. And he takes first pitch high and wide. Red Sox come in at 87-71. And what news? Scudero came into this ball game a .369 lifetime hitter against us with 130 at-bats.
And nothing's changed as Scudero takes it right back up the middle. Back last night, he came an eyelash from a double the first time up. This time he takes a low fastball, drives it right into center field. And an ominous way to start this one for John Danks.
He is now 6 for 11 lifetime off Danks with a couple of homers. So here's Darnell McDonald hitting at 273, 9 homers. He's driven in 34.
McDonald started one of the games in the series, and he's a pretty good bunter. Though I don't think Terry Francona is going to be laying it down this early.
And that is chopped foul. Here at beautiful US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. This is the 7th and final meeting of the year between these two teams. In the first 6 games, our Sox have won 5 of them. Good pitch and on the fist.
The last pitch was a good sign for Johnny Danks, because when he's throwing that cutter and he keeps it inside to the right-handers, then the left side of the infield is going to get a whole lot of work with ground balls that way.
And that's a souvenir right side. Red Sox come in hitting at 268 as a club. Our Sox are hitting 267. They have a 4.18 team ERA. We have a 4.09 ERA.
Here's a look at Terry Francona, winner of 2 World Series.
That's up high. And the count 1-2. Almost got that one by him.
McDonald with very good speed. Normally a tough man to double. McDonald's looking for the strikeout on the last pitch with a higher than high fastball.
See if they can do it. Darnell can run. And they get him. Rack him up. 2 down.
Thanks for that cutter. Got it inside. And the left side does come into play. With Lillibridge, a good fast turn. And quickly, 2 outs on just the 5th double play that McDonald's grounded into in 312 at bats.
So here's Victor Martinez. Switch hitting catcher, first baseman, hitting an even 300, 19 homers. He's driven in 77.
This becomes a dangerous side for Victor, who's a good hitter from both sides, but an excellent hitter as a right-hand hitter.
Breaking ball for a strike. Victor, 4 for 12 in the series, 4 for 20 lifetime against Danks. Of the 4 hits, half of them stayed in the park. And there's the base hit.
It'll be very interesting to see where Boston goes with their free agent dollars. They're a big market, high revenue, high spending team. They have 2 key free agents in Beltre and Martinez. Both of them have had very good years, and both of them will be available at the end of this season.
Here's Beltre, 6 for 12 in the series, having a huge season.
You don't normally see your man who's driven in 102 with 4 to go. Think about a bunt with 2 outs and a man at first, but if you wanted to pull Morel in, I don't think he's going to be.
He's hit Danks well. 6 for 18, a couple of homers. And there's the strike. 2 out, 2-1 the count with Martinez aboard.
Good cutter, low and in.
That's the worst swing that Beltre has had in this series.
He hasn't been fooled at all. This one just bites down and in.
He gone. And that'll do it. Nothing across. Couple of hits. One left. After a half inning of play, it's the Carmine's nothing and the Pale Hose coming to bat.
Second in home runs. He'll finish second with Jones, Castro, Viciedo, Morel, Diaza, and Lillebrich. The defense behind Lester. Paul, Kalish, and McDonald left to right with Beltre, Lowry, Scudero, and Anderson. Victor Martinez behind the plate. And John Lester on the hill. 19-8 this year, an ERA just below 3, and this his 32nd start of the year. Opponent's hitting just .214. That's a terrific number. Batting average against. There you look at 158 hits, 204 innings with 220 strikeouts.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Juan Pierre hitting at .270, a homer. He's driven in 44. 2 for 13 in the series. John Lester, 26-year-old southpaw. He's a big man, 6'4", 240, out of Sharpsburg, Georgia.
Second round draft choice of these Red Sox in 2002.
And that's a good way to start it. It's the first at bat for Pierre against Lester in his career. Sox come in at 85 and 73. 12 games over.
The fastball on the inner portion, and Juan just took it right into left field. So a very promising way to start this inning against a guy that you don't hit too much.
Here's Alexei. Alexei on an 8-game hitting streak. Got his average up to 283, 17 homers, 67 driven in, and a good lead by Pierre. Stretch. Not deep enough. Kalish is there, and that's out number 1.
Looks like the Sox went up with a pretty good game plan. And as you see a fastball in the zone early, you jump on it. Because Lester has a terrific cutter. There's a changeup to go with it, but his cutter to the right-hand hitters is especially tough.
So here's Paulie. Paulie hitting at .310, 38 homers, 107 knocked in. 1 for 8 in this series, and lifetime against Lester is 2 for 10. Lester already 37 games over in his young career. 61 and 24.
Too bad for a 26-year-old who's just coming into his prime.
And just getting over lymphoma in 07.
Had his career interrupted, went through chemo and everything that went with it. Fortunately, it was the non-Hodgkin's variety. And he was able to not only get by it, but come through it and prosper after that.
Warren with 63 stolen bases.
Beating Rajay Davis by a wide margin. He will win the stolen base title, assuming that Rajay Davis does not play against a team with no catcher.
There he goes, and no chance. So that is number 64. And number 523 in his career.
Gets a tremendous jump. He decided he's going on first move, and even though it wasn't a good throw by Martinez, there was really no chance for him to get it. That ball down and in. Juan steals it easily.
Pick him up, Paulie. Sox have been used to trailing. As a matter of fact, in our last 10 wins, we have trailed in every one of those 10 wins. And we are second in the American League in comeback victories in 010. We have 43 comeback wins. Only the Yankees have more, and they're at 47.
Hopefully tonight we will not have to experience a comeback win, just a regular old plain win.
Well, that's the stat right there that if I hadn't read it, if it hadn't been in the notes, and you'd asked me where we stood in comeback wins this year, I would have said, oh, probably, I don't know, maybe best middle of the pack. It's the way it just seemed.
Hey, well, you don't think much about that.
No.
You do know, and what really sticks in your mind are those real tough games that you lose when you have them. They stick in your mind, but the ones that you win that you probably shouldn't have, those kind of go away as you get down into the 150s when you're not going to make the playoffs.
Each and every year.
That's just the way it works.
Each and every year is like that. You might, like in 05, we had an exception, especially in the middle of the season, as that breaking ball chopped down. In 05, it seemed like every time we got in a close game, especially if we were like 1 run down or 2 runs down in the middle of the game, we were going to win that ball game. And we did. We came back a lot. But most of the time, you only remember the ones that you should have won, not that you did win. And a full count. Andrew Jones on deck. And another top foul. Boston outfield doesn't move around a whole bunch on anybody. In fact, historically, that is the case with the Red Sox outfield. There goes one. No chance. And that is number 65. And that's ball 4 to Paulie.
Pierre gets just a great jump as nobody was paying much attention to him. This is a decent enough throw by Martinez. Too long to go with the tag for Beltre as that ball was on the foul side of the third base bag.
Martinez out, just in case Paul decides to take off. Then we get a scoop.
He's very cognizant of that fact.
All right, Andrew. Pick him up. And he will. Nice base hit. Pierre will score, and it's 1-0 good guys. Don't stop now, boys.
RBI number 47 for Andrew. He didn't wait long, and we talked about the game plan for the Sox, and it was pick on the first fastball you see in the zone and hit it hard.
Well, when you get good pitchers like Lester, our Red Sox ran 4 good pitchers out there in this series against us. And when you get good pitching like that, you better beat them early.
Pitching really was not their problem, especially in the rotation this year. What was their problem was the loss of their 1, 2, and 4 hitters.
Yeah, but to the point we were talking about, you get good pitchers early. And that's what you have to do. If you don't, they're going to be 0-1 against you, probably 0-2, and then you're in deep trouble. So in the good pitching, you go up there, if you see something you like, you get after it. There's a strike to Ramon, and the count 1-1. Took something off that one.
That was a straight change by Lester, which is good. His fastball can be 94, 95. His cutter, 91, 92. And that changeup, we've seen it at 86 and 87.
Breaking ball, tried to get the outside corner with it, missed. Now the advantage goes to Ramon with the tank. Then Viciedo on deck. And the count's 3-1. Little story about good pitchers. You better get them early. If you don't, you're probably going to lose. Early in the count and early in the game.
Early in the game, they're still trying to adjust to that mound, which usually is just a little different than the one they warmed up on.
And that should be. It was nice double play started right there by Lowry. But we get on the board after 1. It is 1-0. Whites, check that. Good guy. It is 1-0 good guys here in the top of the second inning. Mike Lowell, Jed Lowry, and Ryan Kalish to face Johnny Danks. Lowell 2 for 8 with a homer in the series. Can't get that one upstairs. Mike comes in hitting at 226, 5 long ones, and he's knocked in 24. And said this is it for him. 36-year-old veteran.
Had a very good career. Had some just exceptional seasons.
Two and two. Well, Mike's going to be a 12-year veteran. He gone.
Here's our AT&T Uverse replay, and it's not going to come into effect for those of you who will remember the rules next year. Here's one to keep in mind. Watch Andrew's right hand. He comes across, and he hits the left foot of Scutaro. You can't do that. That's illegal. That becomes a double play. Just something to think about as we head into next spring training.
Write that down for me. I got to
please
go over that this winter.
And see what's new from AT&T. Visit www.attnt.com. So we've had a catcher using his mask to scoop a ball into the glove. And this one.
And we got a 2-0 count to the shortstop, Jed Lowry, switch hitter. 4 for 10 in the series. Lifetime against Danks is 0 for 3. And the count 3-1.
Lowry's a pretty tough hitter from the right side. Good hitter overall, tougher from the right side. So this should make a good pitch here.
And a full count. He gone. 3 in a row, punched out by Danks.
Came back from 3-1. Good movement on this fastball. Put it perfectly on the outside corner. Took care of Lowry. Lefty, you always have to worry about a bunt, although we haven't seen a whole lot of it from Kalish. He does have very good speed.
Well, there's only been one manager that, in our opinion, as we discussed, made his lineup out appropriately against Johnny Danks this year. Left-handers are hitting 276 off Johnny. Right-handers are hitting 219. And one manager, of course, was Joe Matt.
Ed would take guys he normally didn't take and play him. Case of Minnesota, who's had some trouble against John Danks. They just have left-handers who start every day, right. So that's not a question of juggling your lineup to face him.
As you and I discussed,
you got to look.
We would both play our left-handers against Danks and Burley.
You got to look at those sheets. You got to take whatever kind of advantage you have against some of the tougher pitchers around, and John is one of those. He's going to become one of the better pitchers in baseball, and right now he's right up there with a lot of the real good ones.
Yes, sir, and getting better. And the thing, we've seen it a lot in the past, though, with other guys. You take Mariano Rivera. You're going to pinch hit, which a lot of managers do against Mariano in the 9th inning of games. They run left-handers up there, and that's just feeding them to the sharks.
Because you break 3 or 4 bats, and then the game's over.
So a full count to Kalish. Been much better off with a right-handed hitter against Rivera.
You look at Bill Hall in the on-deck circle. Pretty decent power year.
And he walks him. First walk issued by Danks, and it'll bring up Hall, hitting at 243. 18 homers and 46 knocked in.
Kalish is going to be a terrific base runner. That's assuming, of course, he gets an opportunity to play every day in the major leagues. 6 of 7 this year in stolen bases. He's got tremendous speed and very good acceleration. What does that wide open stance by Bill Hall, what does that do for a hitter as opposed to a close stance?
Well, usually what it'll do is keep him tucked a little longer, because if he's open, then he's going to have to come to a closed position to get back into hitting position. See how you'll close it up, keep that left shoulder tucked. Whereas a lot of guys who will stand close to the plate, because he's off the plate a little bit, a lot of guys who are standing close to the plate, you got to bail.
So you got to open up.
You got to open up. So if you open up, that left shoulder's coming with you. What he's doing is he's trying to fight flying open with his left shoulder, and he's doing it with his feet. That's one thing I love about this game. I'm telling you, there are just 9,000 different ways to swing the bat to hit the ball.
There's some guys who you would never teach the style to which they hit. Look at Ichiro as a perfect example.
Cooperstown is full of them.
You can't teach anybody to hit like that.
Cooperstown's full of guys who, if you didn't know who they were and you saw them swing the bat or you saw them throw the ball, you would say, who is that?
Ichiro went over 200 hits again this year.
He had a 204 the other day.
Remarkable.
Yeah, they come in all sizes and shapes in this game. Little guys, big guys. And this is truly one game where little guys are not afraid of big guys.
And we saw the guy that's been hurt for Boston win an MVP at second base, Dustin Pedroia, who Ozzie was kind enough to say should be a jockey, yet he won the MVP.
Well, he's one of my favorite players to watch play.
He's terrific. He really is.
Hall can't get it to count 1 and 2. In fact, my two favorite players, or two of my favorite players, I should say, on the Red Sox team to watch play, I love to watch Big Papi and I love to watch Beltre, are Youkilis and Pedroia.
When they do get back next year, Boston's going to be pretty good, depending on, like everything else, how the pitching staff comes back, especially that bullpen.
That's the key, the bullpen.
Well, they've got a decision to make, and that decision is really Jonathan Papelbon and Daniel Bard.
I think it's probably been made for him this year.
Papelbon stands to make a lot of money. Daniel Bard stands to have really good stuff.
And he goes full to Hall. So, Johnny.
A lot of pitches here in the second inning.
This will be his 43rd already. Back-to-back walks after getting ahead of him in the count. You know, when you get young hitters that come up the big leagues, especially young Latin hitters, they're very aggressive. And they don't walk, they strike out a lot. You say, okay, next spring we're going to have to work with these guys. We're going to try to work with them and try to get them to take a few more pitches, maybe, you know, go deeper in the counts. That's one of the worst terms you can ever use to a young Latin hitter. We want you to go deep into the counts.
Because they wind up taking pitches they could normally hit.
And the same, yeah. And the same thing holds true with pitchers. As there goes the runner, nobody's even close. So Kalish picks up stolen base number 7.
That still is a big play here. John didn't pay any attention because he was struggling with his control so much. And credit Kalish. I mean, nobody moved him back. Might as well take off.
Well, it had to be Alexei. But you get a lot of pitchers. And here's Johnny Danks, 25 years old, just turned 25. One of the better young left-handers in the game, and it's not unusual to him to have 35, 40 pitches after 2 innings. So you say, well, we're going to maybe try to work with him on
getting ahead
earlier.
Those wind up in the outfield a lot. I mean, I don't mind strike one. Certainly, it's a great pitch. It's probably as good a pitch as there is.
And that's up high. Well, the thing is, Johnny has no problem as a rule getting ahead of hitters, but then all of a sudden he's out there and he just, first thing you know, it's 0-2, then it's 1-2, then it's 2-2, then it's 3-2.
That's one of the reasons why I've never been a big fan of the setup pitch, because you've got a guy 0-2 and you got a real good idea how you want to get him out. If you made him look bad on a slider, then get him out on the next pitch. You try to get him out in 1, then you try to get him out in 2 pitches, and then if not, you try to get him out in 3. Too many setup pitches wind up in the outfield.
There goes Hall. Nice pick right there by Morrell. Beautiful play by Brent on a rocket off the bat of Anderson. Mercy, what a play by Morrell.
At least one run. This ball slicing away from him, makes the backhand stop on the hop, and then with a rocket-like arm, throws him out. Terrific play.
Even magnified more because it came off the bat of a left-handed hitter. If it had been a right-handed hitter, it would have been a terrific play anyway, but not quite as good. That left-handed, big difference. So here is the Tank. Getting after it. Fouls it away. He's hitting .289, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, 1 for 1 in this series, but it was a big one because it won game 2, bottom of the 9th inning. This young man has a tremendous upside.
Well, he's got an incredibly lively bat.
Well, he's hit the hardest home run we've seen all year. The one he hit in Detroit.
That ball, I don't know if it got 20 feet off the ground the whole way, but I do know that it got out of the ballpark quicker than anything else we saw all year.
That's it, all year. Breaking pitch. Now he's going to strike out, but let him go because he's going to be dangerous. And right now, let's check out tonight's Dodge picks to click. Jumanji, our director and the crew went with Lillerbridge. Stone Pony's gone with Andrew Jones and all the great folks down in the ticket office. Mike Mazza, Kenny Wiz, Catazone, Joe Farnsworth, on and on and on and on. We're going to go with the Cieto. And for more information on the entire vehicle lineup, log on to Dodge.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Dodge dealer. Hard-working people down in that ticket office. Laura Arenas, Mary Weiss. Tommy Eichstadt.
They'd like to work just a little harder next year.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, all things considered, with the weather we had this year.
Yeah, this was some bad weather.
I'm just proud of our fans. Like, the weather was absolutely, overall, was horrendous. 1-2 the count to Brent. 3 for 9 in the series with a couple of RBIs and a couple of brilliant plays defensively. Two down. Yeah, this weather, it seemed like every day there for the first 3.5 months that we were at home, the rain, the impending forecast and everything else just absolutely killed the walk-up.
Not to mention, look what it did to Roger Bossert. He started this year at 230 pounds. Look at him now.
Boy, I tell you, he's like a rail.
Ground him down to a nub.
Like a rail.
Hasn't affected his eating of cake, but still, he's very thin.
Stick him beside Alexei.
And you can put Chris Sale in that picture also.
Yazda takes that breaking ball nicely, and he's got a 2-0 count.
They could all fit into Big Poppy's uniform together.
At least.
Talked to the big man today. Ask him about that bunt last night. I said, is that going to be part of your game plan next year as you're adjusting to the league? And he goes, no, I was just trying to take Freddie's concentration away. Ruin his thought pattern. He goes, it didn't work. I said, no, it didn't work.
He has fun playing the game. And there's ball 4, so second walk issued by Lester. And Diazza, he's got good speed. He had 16 stolen bases down at Charlotte. He's 1 for 2 up here. So here's Lillibridge. Brent hitting at 250, couple homers, 14 knocked in. Fakes first pitch strike. Decent lead, not a big lead. Can't get that one. And a reminder, nothing demonstrates the pride and commitment of being a White Sox fan more than becoming a season ticket holder. Just place your deposit right now for a 2011 full or partial season plan and be among the first to select your seat location. You can gain access to the best seats available and take advantage of all the benefits of becoming a season ticket holder. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Hi, gang. How y'all doing? There's some visitors in the background and the back of the booth. Oops. Oh, good throw. It would have been close.
Well, he went over there slowly. I mean, that was intended just to chase Diazza back. But he caught him leaning the wrong way. And had he gone over with a solid toss, he'd have gotten him. You can see that kind of lollipop throw over there. When you go over there and make that throw, make it with the intention of picking somebody off.
Well, if he did, he would have got it.
Easily.
1-2. First time Willowbridge has seen Lester. First time Viciedo, Morel, Diaz, Willowbridge, and Juan Pierre. They've all seen John Lester. Now a little bigger lead by Diaz. He gone. Got him with the hook, strikes out the side. We're into the third, leading 1-0. First pitch, ball 1 to Marco Scutaro. Takes the bunt, takes ball 2. He singled right back through the middle, laid the ball game off. He is now 5 for 10 in this series, and there's a strike.
A dentist dream. Cotton candy.
And Scutaro is going to start this off with a double.
Told you, Hawk, we should acquire this guy because we just can't get him out. He has really been something over the course of his career.
About 375 now against us.
He saves his best for us. Started out with a single to center, takes this one right down the line. No chance at all for Morel.
That's his 38th double. Martinez has 32. Ortiz has 36. Beltry has 49.
Donald probably looking to bunt to third here.
Danks has got him.
Good bunt by McDonald, who's been doing a lot of that. And representing the tying run, he gets Scutaro to third.
Here's Martinez. He had a single between third and short. A run on 2 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for their guys. That's high and deep. And it is 2-1 Red Sox. Number 20 RBIs, number 78 and 79 for the 31-year-old soon-to-be free agent.
First time up, we told you about his strong side, and that's the right side. It's a towering home run to left field. And Johnny Danks surrenders the lead on his 52nd pitch. Tried to cut that fastball inside. Martinez opened up, got the good part of the bat on it, and took it out.
Well, Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association today came to an agreement on the free agency changes. In the past, after the final game of the World Series, the home clubs had an exclusivity for 15 days to negotiate with their free agent. It's no more 15 days, it's 5 days.
They're going to get their decisions made anyway at that point, and you might as well take it back and then let other teams have a shot.
Plus, it's a goodwill move, the owners, to the Players Association.
Knowing that after next year, the collective bargaining agreement is going to come into play.
Exactly.
So you give a little something here. You never know what might come out of that.
It is high in the center field. He barreled another one up just underneath it. So that is out number 2.
Danks gave up his 18th home run of the year, and that's really not a high total in 210 innings.
So here's Lowell, struck out on a fastball that was high and wide. Count evens at 1. Oh, Johnny started off the season. His first 8 or 10, 12 starts. Boy, he kept the ball in the ballpark. Then he had that period midway through the year that started throwing some round trippers. But as you mentioned, 18, not bad. Andrew makes that catch, but the 2-run homer by Victor Martinez will go to the bottom of the 3rd. It is 2-1 Carmichael. There's first pitch breaking ball strike. Juan started it off with a line shot into left field for a base hit, and then picked up a couple of stolen bases, and finally scored. 65 stolen bases. Giants beat the D-backs 4-1 at AT&T.
Puts a whole lot of pressure on San Diego.
Giants just one victory away from clinching. And there's another base hit.
Well, that turned out to be a very good play by Hall, because that sinking line drive, it became apparent that he wasn't going to be able to get to it. And then the question comes, can you make sure you keep it in front of you? So Juan is 2 for 2. This one gets by him. Juan's going to run a while. San Francisco now a 2.5 game lead over San Diego. San Diego locked in a 0-0 tie in the bottom of the 7th inning against the Cubs. The Giants' magic number is 2.
Yeah, Panda, Torres, and Posey all went deep in that game.
Buster Posey, even though he got to the party late, has got an excellent chance of winning Rookie of the Year.
I'll tell you what, he's probably going to get a couple votes for MVP, too, if they win everything.
He's been something.
Yeah. There goes one. There's a throw. In the center field, so he picks up another stolen base, number 3, number 66.
There are no outs on the third base side of the second base bag. He missed on the first base side. As this ball wide of the bag, a long way to go on the tag by Scudero, and one in easily, whether he catches the ball or not.
Now Lowry going to hang out real close behind him. And that breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1 to count. Winning pitcher for the Giants, Madison Bumgarner.
Another good-looking youngster.
That's his first win at AT&T in 9 tries this year.
He's going to have a lot more. He's a very big, talented, young left-hander.
Well, that is a huge game for the Padres, because they finish up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Giants. That wouldn't get me over the third base swing.
Well, it's very simple. They win this one tonight, then they got to take 2 of 3. Well, they got to sweep the series.
They got to sweep. Yeah, if they win tonight, they've got to win 4 in a row. Padres.
Yeah. They lose this game tonight, they still got to sweep the tie.
Lowry doing a real good job.
But there's also, Hawk, there's the wild card. And the wild card, they're still very much alive at a game and a half pending the outcome of tonight's game, and only 1 back in the loss column. So if they win that one, there'll be only 1 game in back of the Braves.
There's a shot down past Jeff Cox.
That game becomes even more important because Atlanta does play Philadelphia. That's a big series. It doesn't mean anything to Philadelphia, although they could knock out Atlanta. But Atlanta 55-23 at home in Atlanta. One of the best records, might be the best record in all of baseball.
One-two pitch. Now it's Scudero who's taken over. They were playing Lowry over there when they thought that Alexi was trying to go to right field. This didn't happen. Big strikeout.
Good off-speed breaking ball by Lester. You can understand why he had 220 strikeouts coming into this game. You change speeds on that breaking ball, you can have a guy guessing, but he can't guess the speed.
There's not 10% of the pitchers in this league that change speeds on their breaking pitches.
But the ones that do are really effective.
They're really good.
Yes. Look at Freddie last night.
They're really good. And look at this kid here, Lester. Look at CC. Changes speeds on his. Halliday over there in Philly. Want to know the count to Pauly, who walked back in the first. And the count 2-0.
What a year it was. Freddie Garcia, 12 wins, 6 losses. Could have been credited with at least 4, maybe 5 more wins. Just didn't get them. Stayed pretty healthy for the good part of this year. Had a bad back a couple of times. Wasn't out for prolonged periods of time.
Well, Freddie was the guy who wore it this year as far as the tough luck cape went. He was the guy who had all the bad luck. Leave a ball game with a lead, and bullpen gave it up.
See it disappear. Every year it's somebody else, or it's a guy that will go through a year with no run support. Take a look at Felix Hernandez, who has a shot at the Cy Young Award. Imagine if he'd have got any run support in Seattle. I'd have won 25 games.
That's into center field. Hit softly. And it's going to fall for the base hit. So a little duck snort by Pauly. And Pierre into third.
It was a good base running play by Juan Pierre, because you just don't want to get doubled up and taken out of the inning, and he has no idea if Kalish is going to get to this ball. It's a cracked bat. You couldn't tell by the swing. Kalish pulls up right in front of it, and Pierre taking a look. Still not sure. And by this point, you can only go to third.
So here's Andrew. Had an RBI single. Picking up his 47th run. Sox led it 1-0 after 1. Got it from the outside over the corner. 0-1 to count. Outfield, straight up. And everybody about the same. And look at this. Look at this. That's going to fall. 2 duck snorts in a row, and this game is tied at 2. Hello. Shades of Minnesota.
Well, it appears to me from a strictly impartial viewpoint that you can put that pick the click to bed right now. Andrew has done a terrific job.
We'll play a few mornings before we make that decision.
Can hardly do any better than this. 2 for 2. Both runs batted in. Spectacular defense in center field. Nice guy.
Terrific guy. And here is Ramon, hit into a 6-4-3 double play. That ball hit hard. Kalish came in, now goes back. He's there. And that's out number 2. And a reminder, this Friday home game is United Flyaway's last, obviously, Friday. One lucky fan will have the chance to win 2 free round-trip tickets to anywhere in the continental United States that United Airline flies. United proud to fly the Chicago White Sox. So here's the tank. Tank, a strikeout victim, leading off the second. Breaking ball misses. Two 4-0 for their guys. 2 5-0 for our guys. And this should be. No boot on that play. But we tie it up. We'll go to the fourth. 2-2. Want to know the count to Jed Lowry leading off here in the top of the fourth in a 2-2 tie. A couple of good left-handers out there going at one another tonight.
Well, it's a good matchup, and it's tied at 2, something you would expect.
And that's out number 1. So here's Ryan Kalish. He walked and also picked up a stolen base after Bill Hall walked behind him. Nice little 3-hopper.
Right now, he got the first 2 outs, very similar to what John did in the second inning. This time, he's got to nail it down. He's yet to have a 1-2-3 inning. He does have his pitches piling up. He's at 65 to this point. You get a 1-2-3 inning here, you're in pretty good shape, and turn it over to your offense, which looks like it's starting to get at John Lester.
Hall, as I mentioned, walked. And reminder, you can enjoy a day. Only 3 more left here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field with your family and friends. Individual tickets for the Cleveland Series, they're on sale right now. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
Tribe comes to town. Finish it off.
Yeah, they're going to run Carmona, Carrasco, and to be announced out there.
He's tough.
And we're going to run Pena, Burley, and Edwin Jackson.
One good thing is he won't be Talbot.
Boy, he has been tough against us, hasn't he?
Pretty nice year for him, all things considered.
Went. And that'll do it. A nice 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Danks, his first of the ball game. And we're still tied at 2.
And not too many people expected with 7 innings, 4 hits, and 2 earned runs. Garcia was 12-6 as the 5th starter, and those 12 wins tied him for 2nd on the Sox staff. Freddie Garcia, tonight's Toyota, moving forward.
It'll be Morel, Diaza, and Lillibridge here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lower third of our order. Well, if you take all things considered, the best pitcher on our staff this year was Freddie Garcia.
If you look at it top to bottom, from the first start till the last, he was very consistent, and he held up, and that was really the key with him. It's not that nobody thought he could win. It was that people wondered if he would hold up. If he held up, he would pitch well. For the most part, he did hold up, and he pitched very well.
Oh, Lars Anderson with a very, very beautiful catch on a very, very beautiful timed leap.
The only problem here is Lars is too tall. Normally that's a base hit, but not in this case.
Well, Freddie did something this year that I can't recall. I may have seen it happen once before to the degree that I'm talking about. And that is for a guy who had as bad a spring as he had to have as good a year as he had. I mean, he could not get anybody out in spring training. And what got him through that and got him on this ball club as a 5th starter is because of his past record. And I'll tell you, that's where your reputation and your past record comes into play, because they know he's got a heart as big as anybody and cojones as big as anybody.
I think that was one of the big factors in that he knows how to do it. And spring for him was 6 weeks of getting the baseball, throwing it, sweating a little bit, and getting ready for the first start, which is for the most part what he did, while getting hammered along the way. And that doesn't come into play when the bell rings, because he's known how to pitch for a long time. You look at his record above 500, you realize that he knows how to pitch. And with the stuff that he has now, if you don't know how to pitch, you're going to go 0 for the season.
Cutting and guile.
Well, he's got a lot of it.
2-1 to count to De Aza, who walked on 4 pitches. And there's a chopper. Fair ball right over the head of Beltre. Here's the throw by Hall. Safe. So he picks up his 2nd double in a White Sox uniform. Now that play by Lars Anderson really looks big.
Billy Hall made a nice play. This ball hitting out in front of the plate, hopping over the head of Beltre. And the reason why it did was because he was respecting the bunt. Last night, he was able to bunt his way on. So by drawing in the third baseman, it enables you to chop it over his head. And Hall, with a big arm for a left fielder, just missed him at second.
So here's Litherbridge. He struck out. That was to end the 2nd inning. As the bunt in the count, 0-1.
Big game down in Kansas City. Kansas City behind Zach Greinke, leading Tampa Bay 3-1.
That's in the bottom of the 4th inning. And he takes strike 2. Josh Hamilton's going to be playing tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday in that series against the Angels, getting ready for the postseason. He's going to play in the field tomorrow, and he's going to DH on Saturday and play in the field on Sunday. David Murphy is not going to be playing in that series.
And he's out. He's out. And that's going to hurt him because Murphy was a good player for him.
He had that base stolen.
The thing that was surprising to me is that for a long time, Hamilton was talking about the pain he had in his side. And they couldn't seem to diagnose it until maybe 2.5 weeks later, when they finally came up with the diagnosis that he did indeed have cracked ribs. Not that anything would have changed, it's just that he would have known what the problem for the pain was.
You ever had any cracked ribs?
I haven't, but I understand it's not easy to breathe when you do.
I haven't either, and they tell me it's just excruciating pain. I've had sore ribs. Getting hit.
He did it banging into the wall. But he's a guy that probably will win the MVP. Miguel Cabrera with a more than a fighting chance to win it. But it's tough to give it to a guy whose team finishes third when you've had some terrific years from a player whose team finishes first.
Well, to me, still, Hamilton, there's no question about it. But to me, most valuable player in this league is Robinson Cano.
It's been a magnificent year in a year when not many of those Yankees had magnificent years.
He, to me, is the MVP.
I don't think they would have won without him this year or gotten in the playoffs. We don't know if they're going to win yet. But they certainly wouldn't have been in the playoffs without Cano. And that's on both sides, offensive and defensive.
Well, there's not a second base. There's not a better second baseman in the league.
Certainly not a stronger arm.
Defensively. But he's the MVP. Hamilton, if he hadn't missed that time, he'd have been right there and probably would have. If I voted, I would have voted for him. But since he did miss the time, Robinson hadn't. As here is Pierre. Juan is 2 for 2 with both runs scored. And also 3 stolen bases. Have a good night, Juan. Nice pitch. Good eye on that one. 2 balls and a strike. And the count 3-1. Alexei on deck. And there's ball 4. So now real good speed aboard. Diaz at second, Pierre at first. And here comes Alexei, who's gone out to center and struck out.
Here's tonight's U.S. Cellular Text Bowl question, believe in something better. Who'll win the 2010 American League pennant? A, Tampa Bay, B, the New York Yankees, C, Minnesota, or D, the Texas Rangers? Just text A, B, C, or D to 97999 and watch for the results later in the game. And a lot of that could depend on just exactly who has home field advantage. And that's one of the things that the 2 games tonight are going to be of critical importance when evaluating what's going to happen. But you got to vote anyway, and you don't know what's going to happen tonight.
Breaking ball low. Alexei on that 8-game hitting streak. Gets himself a gapper right here. Alexei. And he's got the catbird seat at 2-0. Lester tonight, for the most part, if you're just tuning in, has been a breaking ball pitcher. That's chopped over in our dugout. 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Looked to me like because Pierre was 2 for 2 against him and hit him so hard, he was more concerned with Pierre than he is with Ramirez. Let's see if that comes back to haunt him. Got Ramirez out twice.
Ouch.
Oh, that one hurt.
Ouch.
Good. He got hit in the same spot that Rios got hit in.
Well, Alex took a shot the other night if you missed that. And now Alexei the same thing.
Wait. There's not a lot of meat on that knee anyway, and with Alexei there's even less.
Well, there's not as much to bruise.
No, not soft tissue. Those bones are real close to the surface for him. Touch it again. Cuts it inside, right off the knee. And he's going to be okay.
The back knee. Now, Alex was off the front knee.
He's up in the front of the box and he lets that ball get deep, and that's one of the reasons why that happens. I would assume. For me, I got way back in the box, way away from the plate, and prayed the ball didn't hit me.
Well, yeah, but you couldn't hit it.
True. But I hit 100. I got to triple digits.
That's not bad.
It's a miracle is what it is. I don't know how it happened. I never found the ball off my foot. You can't do it when your both feet are bailing at the same time.
Yes, right.
I grounded to second base a lot.
You and Dean Chance.
I had to be better than him. I saw him hit. It was awful.
Yeah,
it was really sad.
He's the worst looking hitter I've ever seen. Ever. Jacks it up. And a full count. Alexei. Yeah, I mean, you could go get anybody sitting in the stadium now.
Have a better swing?
And they would have a better swing than Dean Chance. Anybody sitting here. There they go. And that's ball 4. That'll load him up for Paulie. Back-to-back walks.
Let's bring John Farrell out, because one thing to take your chances with Pierre when a guy's 2 for 2 against you. But you can see how frustrated Lester is at the base on balls to Ramirez. He thought one more cutter inside he could get him. He missed way too far inside, and now Paul Konerko with a chance to improve on what's already been a spectacular season for him.
Paulie has walked, and he has a little duck snort into center field. You know, but getting back, touching on Dean Chance, who was a former Cy Young Award winner. I've never seen a guy, who was that fearless on the mound and that afraid of the plate. I've never seen that contrast. You know, usually if you see a guy fearless on the mound, he's got a chance to hit it. He was scared to death at the plate. And John Waldron, of course, tells us the Dean batted .066 for his career.
Yeah, I dwarfed him.
Oh, yeah.
I flew by him.
Sacks packed with Sox and Paulie. A 2-2 tie.
Yeah.
One and one to count. All over that one, just a little quick. Yanks it foul, and the count 1-2. So Lester in command of the count. and that's fouled back. Detroit had Baltimore postponed. They'll have to play 2 tomorrow.
Well, they've had a tremendous amount of rain on the East Coast.
And you might say, well, why are they playing 2? They have to because of the television obligations.
This is also the time of year when you really want to get that bullpen some work. Find out about your young pitchers.
Yeah, because they hadn't had enough during the year. Checks it up, 2-2. Got real good speed. Boy, it's nice to look out there and see 3 good guys out there on the base paths with that kind of speed. Piazza at third, Pierre at second, and Alexei at first. Just off the corner, good eye, good take. A good job, Darryl Cousins, to stay right with it.
This ball hooks around the plate. Never got the plate. And the count goes full.
Ball for a base hit right here, Paulie. And a payoff pitch. He was all over it and just underneath it. And once again, the 3-2. A ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Get on back there. At the ball, they look up. You can put it on the board. Yes. A grand slam for Konerko. Number 39. And the Sox lead it 6-2. Mercy.
Worked that count to 3-2, fouled one back. Now he's driven in 111 in what continues to be just a spectacular season. Sox have the lead by 4. A towering home run by Paul Konerko.
First pitch outside to Andrew Jones. And the fans want a curtain call, and there it is. Big rip. So the 2 walks. Piazza started it off with that 1-out double.
9th career grand slam. Tried to throw a high fastball by him. The guys have been trying to do that for a lot of years. Haven't had much success.
39 homers, 111 knocked in. Three and 1 to count. And that is back for a souvenir. And be one of the first 25,000 fans in attendance this weekend against Cleveland tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And receive a Connie's Pizza game card, now redeemable for a small pizza with the purchase of any large pizza of equal or greater value at participating Connie's Pizza locations.
Well, when you're going after your 20th win for the first time in your career.
That ball smoked into left field. Hall is there, makes the catch, but not before. The 9th career grand slam by Paul Konerko, win to the 5th, leading 6-2. That pitch up high in the count. 2-0 to Lars Anderson, leading off here in the top of the 5th inning. 6-2, good guys on top. Grand slam homer by Paul Konerko in the 4th if you're just joining us. Come on, Johnny, no walks. You just got yourself a 4-run lead. Make him swing the bat. Anderson was robbed of a base hit. Oh, beautiful play is there's ball 4. Ready to lead off walk.
And it's the walks that have helped to do in John Lester. He usually has excellent control. 4 walks tonight has not been good. You factor in the towering home run. Something he hasn't done a lot of. Might be seeing the effects of 210 innings or so.
So here's Scudero, a single, a double, and a run scored. He's been all over Danks. He's 7 for 12 lifetime against him. And the count evens at 1. And that's hit hard but foul. Thank you very much. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 34-year-old veteran. Hitting .276 to go along with those 11 homers and 56 RBIs as he stands up to the dish. And that's out of play right side. And that's a can of corn. Alejandro makes the catch for out number 1. And Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlogs from Subway? Just need a 500 texter to text Subway to 97999. So go to WGNTV.com for complete information. Darnell McDonald has hit into a double play and has a sacrifice bunt. And that's popped up right side. Lillibridge. Now Viciedo. The tag stays with it and brings it home.
Much easier play for Lillibridge than it was for Viciedo. But in the discrepancy in size, if the big guy's calling for it, you let the big guy take it.
Yeah, there's got to be some reason you got a nickname like the Tank. He got some shoulders on him.
He went down, and Brent slipped, then Diane slipped.
So here's Victor. He singled in the first inning, then cranked out his 20th homer in the third. A 2-run shot. And that's right at one. Pierre in his tracks makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. So he pitches over the leadoff walk. We're halfway home, leading by 4. Six-two good guys here in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Castro, Viciedo, and Morel. As he takes ball 1. Ramon has grounded into a double play, a 6-4-3, and then he is lined out hard to center field. Here's a shot by Beltre. So the leadoff man aboard. And here comes the Tank.
You know, Terry Francona is going to give John Lester every opportunity he can to hang around long enough to see his offense trying to claw their way back into this one. But Sox continue to hit the ball as they've been hitting it against John Lester. not going to keep him in all that long as the bullpen is up and going now.
That is high and deep. Stretch. Stretch, get on back there. He looks up, he jumps. You can put it on the board. Yes! Just a high fly ball for the Tank, who muscles it out of here for his 4th homer. And it's an 8-2 ball game. Mercy.
I don't even think he came close to getting that one on a good part of the bat. He hits a high fly ball and it just keeps on going. Gives you some sort of an idea about just how strong Viciedo is. 4-11 on the power numbers in a very short period of time.
Well, he had the game-winning hit in Game 2. Sox won it 5-4 in the bottom of the 9th inning on a blistering line drive to left field. And there's not one right-handed hitter in this ballpark tonight who can hit the ball as far to right field as Viciedo can. Huge power to the opposite field. And of course, all the guys down in the ticket office, that's their pick to click. Matthew, Kenny Witt, Pete Catazon, and everybody is there's ball 4. And here comes Francona.
I think he gave me his shot. He's just a very tired pitcher out there. And Robert Manuel most likely will come into this one. John Lester bidding for number 20. Not this year. So Manuel comes in, Lester steps out, and we'll be back. ERA a little over 5.5. And he inherits Morel at first base. Lester went 5+, gave up 9 hits, walked 5, fanned 5. He's been charged with 8 so far. And Morel is his responsibility. Disappointing night for the young man. Terry Francona had some words as he started to walk off the mound. Just, I would assume, telling him, son, it was a great year. One of those nights you didn't have it. I can't leave you in here to take this kind of beating. So walk with your head held high. We had a terrific season.
Well, you called it right when you said he was tired. So here we go. Piazza with Morel at first base. Alejandro has walked and he has doubled and scored. He started off that 4-run fourth with that 1-out double. Takes ball 1. 8 runs on 9 hits. No errors for our guys. 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors for their guys. Look at the play by Anderson. Mercy. They won't double him up, but that is the second really good play he's made.
Alejandro bidding for his second hit and to keep his perfect night intact. And Anderson ranging to his right. Good reflexes. They're not going to turn 2 as Diaz is well by the bag.
So here's Brent. Littlebridge is glad to see John Lester out of there. And the count 2-0. And a reminder, you can stop by the Comcast Fundamentals deck at US Cellular Field for the ultimate game day experience. You got 3 days left. Visit the Comcast dugout to see official Sox equipment, take photos next to life-size player cutouts, and listen to updates about the White Sox pitching staff on the Xfinity Voice dugout phone, all brought to you by Comcast. And the count 3-0.
Pierre was having a good night, a perfect night in the on-deck circle.
There's one. $30,854 paid. And this foul straight back underneath Stone Point.
That was coming off back to us with not a whole lot on it. I'd have had that and a little more lift on it.
That would have been a 1-4-3, huh?
Well, at least a 1. Probably would have thrown it away.
And another souvenir.
There's some very happy people in San Francisco as the Cubs defeated the Padres, taking 3 of 4. Now the magic number is down to 1 as San Diego has to go into San Francisco having to sweep for a tie.
And that's fouled. Well, we had a situation like that in 1967. What they call the greatest pennant race in the history of the game. When you had the White Sox, the Tigers, the Twins, and the Red Sox all within 1 game of each other for about 5 weeks. And we had to win. I was playing with Boston. We had to beat Minnesota the final 2 games. It's a quirk in the schedule for a 2-game series, a Saturday and Sunday series.
That is really unusual.
Yeah. And we had to beat them both games. We had to beat Jim Cott and Dean Chance. And we won them both. So that is going to be an exciting series. As that ball hit into right field. McDonald.
San Diego still has a shot at the wild card, but Philadelphia going to Atlanta, where Atlanta has been dominant. And Atlanta has a 2-game lead in Bobby Cox's last season.
Well, the big game for the Braves is going to be that first game with the Padres and the Giants, if the Giants win.
Yeah. That'll be a big game.
Ball 1-1. Juan's been a big factor in this game. He's 2 for 2 with a walk, 3 stolen bases, and 3 runs scored. And he is 3 for 3. Just shoots that one by Beltre.
All 3 hits in the same spot, just various heights. One takes that win on the outer portion of the plate, drills it into left field. All 3 hits have come to left field.
And here's Alexei. He's 0 for 2, but he had a big walk last inning. After Diazza with that 1-out double, Lillibridge struck out to make it 2 out, man at second. Then Juan walked, Alexei walked, and then Paulie hit the grand slam. Count evens at 1.
Red Sox bullpen still up and going.
Backhanded, long peg over to first. Anderson makes a nice pick. Looks like he's pretty good with that leather over there. Meanwhile, the 2-run homer by Viciato, followed by Ron Thing in 2. Johnny Danks trying to pick up his 15th victory of the season, pitching to Beltre, starting off here in the top of the 6th inning. And the count 1-1. Beltre has struck out and gone out to center field. 8-2 White Sox. Sox trying to make it a 6-1 season series edge over Boston. Finally got him to hit a ball. He has a bad throw. And an error by Alexei.
Next year, you're going to have to convince Alexei that because he has such a strong arm, get it over there and make the throw and no more lollipops.
He loves to just.
Well, Omar can do that because Omar is one of the greatest that ever lived. But Alexei can't do that.
He loves to just lollipop it over there.
Well,
There you see, I don't think Beltre never touched the bag. So here's Lowell.
Error number 20 for Ramirez. Well, the fact that he didn't touch the bag play no part because he did call timeout.
He's going to do something.
See, if you call timeout right away, then not touching the bag apparently is okay.
No, and boy,
this time is out.
Nico Navarro. And count 2-2 to Lowell, who has struck out. As good as Alexi has played this year, that's one area that he really has to improve.
Well, he's picking up errors that he doesn't have to pick up. He had all the time in the world to get the ball there.
But again, he just loves to lob it over there. And while we have a moment, I want to send out a huge White Sox shout out and hello and happy birthday to Cindy Williams. As that's out of play. Beautiful wife of Tracy Williams, who is the guy who takes care of all the Sox and the Bulls, all of our eye problems, along with a great group of eye doctors. And now that error is causing some problems here. 2 on, nobody out. So here's Lowry. He has struck out and gone out to center. And that's fouled back. This next pitch will be number 95 here in the top of the 6th inning for Danks. And Johnny in command of the count at 1-2. He gone. 4th strikeout for Danks. First strikeout since he had 3 in a row back to end the first and the first 2 of the second.
Good cutter down and in. Lowry could not check his swing.
And here's Ryan Kalish, who has walked and grounded to second. Ouch. Minnesota just 2-5 since they clinched. They're struggling. They're trailing Toronto 5-2, bottom of the 6th at Target Field. And that's fouled back, and that'll be out of play.
Minnesota is trying to wind up with the best record. It'll be tough for them to get there.
Bottom of the 7th at Kansas City. Royals still leading Tampa Bay. This time it's 3-2. Just getting home. You're not here. San Francisco beat Arizona 4-1. They swept the D-backs as that pitch just off the corner. He gone. 2 down.
Strikeout number 5. Got a good cutter away from Kalish.
So here's Billy Hall, the left fielder, who's walked him down to the third. And that's chopped foul. Sox trying to pick up their 86th victory. And as I mentioned, make it a 6-1 season series over Boston. He gone. 6 strikeout for Danks. Strikes out the side, pitches over the error, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th.
In this 6th inning, Don will win 100 chances to take home the Powerball jackpot. Saturday's jackpot is worth $48 million. Good luck, Don. And in the 4th inning, with the bases loaded, our 4th drive of the game comes off the bat of Paul Konerko. His 39th home run drove in runs 108, 109, 110, and 111. What a year. The fourth drive of the game. And we've got a new pitcher. It's Robert Coelho. On for the fifth time, an ERA of 6.23. And it's been all White Sox in the Battle of the Sox so far.
So Paulie is 2 for 2, a walk, a single, and that grand slam. Takes first pitch strike on the outside corner. Just tuning in, 3 home runs in the ball game, 2-run shot by Victor Martinez for them in the third inning. And then the grand slam by Paulie in the fourth, and a 2-run shot by Viciedo in the fifth. Of course, with those 2 home runs, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. And that is numbers 173 and 74, so $17,400 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula.
D'Amico Navarro stays in at third. Felipe Lopez at second. And we've got a new batter. Kevin Cash behind the plate.
So that home run by Victor Martinez is 20th. He now has 79 RBIs. He was hitting 300 coming in. Victor, who's going to be a free agent, as is Beltre. It'd be hard to imagine that Boston will not sign them both. Good check by Paulie, and the count 2-2. That ball hit high and deep into left center field. Stretch, and Kalish.
Well, nice play as he takes it right away from Bill Hall, and look for an instant like Paulie had hit number 40, but it was not to be. As Ryan Kalish comes flashing across right in front of Ted Lyons.
Ted would have been proud of that catch.
Nice catch.
Yes, it was. So here is Andrew Jones, 2 for 3. A couple of RBIs.
And a ringing line drive to left field.
Not good enough.
Well, you never know. Hold on for a second.
We got a few more innings.
Like you said, we got some time.
That's it. Magnificent 8 down in the ticket office. Got Viciedo with a 2-run homer.
They're trailing.
No, they're leading.
They're leading ahead of Paulie.
Paulie is not picked.
Well, in my heart, I picked him.
Lillibridge,
Yes.
Andrew Jones, and Viciedo are the 3 picks.
Well, factoring in defense and walks.
This is where the Professor Harold Hill steps up to the plate.
Hey, that was a terrific eye on the part of Jones.
And here's Castro. He's 1 for 3. Ramon singled and scored ahead of that 2-run home run by the Tank in the 5th. Breaking ball, no. And he's got the catbird seat, 2-0. Just on the outside edge. B pitch right there on 2-0.
Sergio Santos loosening up the bullpen as John Danks has thrown a lot of pitches on the precipice of winning his 15th.
And the count's 3-1. That's a souvenir right side, so a full count.
Rich Hill loosening up at the bullpen. He's throwing so hard that the lights went off.
I thought it was a curveball. So, the lights went out in Chicago.
Here it is. Well, ballpark's good looking.
Got a different aura to it right now.
I think I could have won a lot with this type of lighting.
I don't know.
It'd be hard pressed to pick up that curveball right here.
They could have seen the 64-mile-an-hour curveball a little better.
You've been hard pressed to pick up the breaking ball with this lighting.
So time will be, obviously, they will go back into the dugouts. The outfield banks are still on. It's just the upper deck.
Jimmy Kianis is coming down to help us flip on the switch. It says, of course, the input is blocked, but he's a master at this. When Griffith is telling him that, of course, he's doing it the wrong way. What do you think? Everything looks good except the stadium looks dark.
So the lights are trying to come back on. They're not making much progress here.
And boys, while you're taking care of our monitors, why don't you go up there and take care of those lights? You did real well with the monitors.
And as they do, we will check a few scores for you. Kansas City, game in the top of the 8th, still leading Tampa Bay 3-2. That was Zach Greinke on the bump, started that game. Also, Justin Morneau will not play in the American League Division Series, but he said he might be able to play in the American League Championship Series if they get there.
Well, that'd be good news. I mean, he's a terrific player, and you certainly like to see teams at their best. It's going to be a difficult task to get through that initial round. In fact, I think that 3 of 5 is probably the most dangerous round for a lot of really good teams get taken out by teams that are not as good, that might have just 2 hot pitchers. That's all it takes to get you through that first 3 of 5.
Well, the good players and the good teams obviously want a longer series. There's no question about that. The longer you play, the more series the good teams are going to win. In a short series, anything can happen. And in postseason play, we saw that in 06 when St. Louis won 83 ball games. And they got hot and won a world championship.
Minnesota did it after winning 85 games. And they won a world championship. So it doesn't matter head-to-head in a short series. It just means you get a couple of hot pitchers and a few hitters. And sometimes you find a surprising guy that will come through, win an MVP in those short series.
And also with Cincinnati winning that division over there, Dusty Baker said he's very close to signing an extension. So he said that they have been close for a while now. He said, we're close. We've been close for a while. Very close. And the offers to be for at least 2 seasons. And Major League Baseball, of course, is now going to have the second game of the World Series is going to be started for the first time in almost a quarter of a century at the earliest time. It's going to be before 7 o'clock, 6:57 or close to that, I think, Eastern time. That will be the Wednesday game of the World Series. So a lot of stuff happening around.
And they got the bottom ring of lights on. We were looking at Rich Hill warming up in the bullpen. And all of a sudden, there they go. Castro decided that he'd best step out of there before Coelho took advantage and threw a couple of strikes to him in the real glow.
So the Sox leading this game 8-2. 8 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for our Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for their Sox. We had 1 in the first. They had 2 in the third. 2-run homer by Victor Martinez, and we tied it in the third. An RBI single by Andrew Jones. Then in the fourth inning, Morrell lined out hard. Lars Anderson made a nice play to rob him of a base hit, and then Diaza came up, bounced a double over the head of Beltre at third. Lillibridge struck out, then a walk to Juan Pierre, a walk to Alexi Ramirez, and then Paulie comes up, picks up his 39th homer, a grand slam, the 9th of his career. And if you missed it, poof. 3-2 after he had fouled off quite a few pitches. That made it a 6-2 lead over John Lester, who was going for his 20th victory tonight. And then in the fifth inning, after Castro led it off with a solid single into left field, the tank comes up. Opposite field shot, his 4th of the season. And as we've talked about him so often, that young man's got a tremendous upside. Strongest hitters in this league, and there's nobody in the American League right-handed hitter who has better power to the opposite field than Diane Viciato. All right, so the lights are out here on the south side, and we'll be back.
It's like Minnesota by a fairly comfortable margin. Wonder if they feel the same way.
That's my pick. They have the best record in the American League since the All-Star break. They have now a big bullpen out there.
They do.
Of course, the bullpen is not quite as important in postseason play as it is during a regular season. It's not so much in regular season now where your starters are going to take you. It's where your bullpen's going to take you. But in postseason play, you've got to get good starting pitching and then get the good work from the bullpen if you're going to go all the way.
Well, for me, I think that they're going to have some problems because they don't have that two dominating starters that I think you really need in a short series. They've got good pitchers, and I think they really wear well over 162. But let's face it, Liriano is going to have a lot of pitches piling up with whoever team he faces, Tampa Bay or New York. By the 6th inning, he's going to be at 100 pitches. And the other guys are good pitchers.
Well, I don't see any dominant pitchers in Texas like you're talking about. I don't see any dominant pitchers with the exception of CeCe in New York that you're talking about. And I don't see any dominant pitchers on Tampa Bay that you're talking about. I think Minnesota's – I think they
You don't think David Price is a dominating pitcher?
Well, I'm talking about, like you said, two that you're talking about.
David and I think Shields is terrific.
But what I'm talking about now is the fact that if you get out there, Minnesota, if they play just – similar to what they've been playing for the last half, they can play with anybody.
Well, I mean,
they can play with anybody.
In a short series.
In a short series, anybody can have it.
I believe they're a first-round knockout, but we'll see, and that's why they're going to play him. I like Minnesota. I've always liked them over the course of 162. I think they're at a disadvantage in a short series.
Well, they have had a lot of trouble with the Yankees. Every time somebody in the Yankee uniform is showing up, they have gone south. So I hope that they can overcome that. But you got Tommy now with a bad back.
Yeah.
You got Morneau that may come back for the championship series, not the division series. But it all boils down to the pitching. Who's going to get the good pitching? And if Minnesota does it and they catch the baseball, well, I'm just pulling for them. I'm not saying they're the best team. I'm just saying there's no other team out there, in my opinion, better than them.
Well, they're going to catch the baseball because they've done that all year. They've caught it well. They execute well, both offensively and defensively. I think those other two teams got a few more ways to beat you, especially Tampa Bay. I think that's a team that can run you out of the ballpark if they get Longoria back and healthy, and that remains to be seen yet if he's going to be 100% healthy. Team's mighty strong.
Well, they're all strong.
Yeah.
I mean, all four of those teams are very strong. Texas, they can put a lineup out there. If Hamilton's in it, they can hit with anybody.
And that remains to be seen just how healthy Hamilton's going to be, because we'll see this weekend.
But the big advantage that Tampa Bay has, as you were talking about, is not so much that they can hit with those guys, but they can outrun them all. Yeah. If they can get on base, then they can outrun them all. So they can run you literally right out of the ballpark. But I think now that game in Kansas City over? That the Royals beat them 3-2, I believe. We'll check it in. Meanwhile, we have a feature coming up while we're waiting for these lights to go on. And it is what it means to be a White Sox, and it features the 1959 Go-Go Sox.
Perhaps no team has ever charmed the city of Chicago as the Go-Go White Sox did in 1959, en route to an American League title before losing the World Series to the Dodgers. But the Go-Go Sox were really born in 1951 as the team embarked on the first of 17 straight winning seasons.
51 was the Go-Go team. That was the first team when the fans start saying go-go.
As soon as I get in first base, that's when it started. Go a minute, go, go, go.
Shortstop Luis Aparicio added even more speed when he joined the club in 1956. And he fit right in with a fleet-footed outfielder who also went by the name of Jungle Jim.
And in those days, it was Minoso, Aparicio, and I. And every time we get on base, if we could steal without permission from Lopez, without a signal. So Don Newcomb's pitching, and I know he ain't got a curveball, but he's got a good slider and a fastball. So I'm waiting for the slider, and I get it, and I hit a single. And I get on base, and when I get on base, Mark, I'm like this here. And the guy said, look at him, he looks like he's in the jungle. And I took off for second base, but I was thrown out.
Manager Al Lopez took over the Sox in 1957 and saw no reason to slow his team down.
They started that Go-Go Sox, I think, even when Paul Richards was there. That they had Rivera and Minoso, and they were running guys. And after we came there, we kind of capitalized on that. And it wasn't like when I went there that I had some real good ball players already on the club. We had Lawler and Aparicio and Fox, who were three outstanding ball players. We had good pitching. We were lucky enough to acquire Early Wynn and Al Smith from the Cleveland Club from Minoso, and that made us a better ball club.
The Sox had limited power, so the players knew that close games would always be the norm. With 32 one-run wins, 1959 would turn out to be a special year.
You build a ball club one way or the other, and that ballpark in the first few years was a ballpark that was built more for singles and speed, because the fences were a long ways away, and we didn't have too many guys that could do that. The only team that probably could was the Yankees in those days. But we knew that, and I have always said, when you don't know you're not going to get a lot of runs, you're pitching hard to every batter, and I think it makes you a better pitcher.
You got used to it in the sense that you know it's going to be that way. You know, what are we going to? We're not going to score 7 runs. That comes in your mind, you know, and your mind got set on it very, very much. It's going to be close ball games. So you know, it actually, I think, it helped not just me but everybody on the team that you played harder.
Hit and run or move the runners over, that was critical. Yeah, and we'd get a run, and Ed Froelich, the trainer, would say the gloves will come out of the ground. So that's how we approached it. Yeah, one game at a time and one play at a time, and just do your job.
We didn't have a good hitter. I mean, good hitter, but no power. We just play good baseball, and with a real good manager, real smart.
When Bob Shaw stepped into the rotation and added 18 wins, the Sox were ready to take over the league.
The big turning point, I thought, was our pitching. We got a kid, at the time I called him a kid, Bobby Shaw. Took about a month, and somehow he got into the rotation. And all of a sudden you see him pitching good. You see Billy, you see Donovan, or an early win, a 22-game winner for the season. And all of a sudden you see this kind of pitching. Well, you gave you big ideas.
We were never in a hurry to get out of the clubhouse. You know, we kind of talked over the game and what we could do to improve or what we needed to do. Yeah, and we were really a close group of guys, and you know, we really didn't have what I call stars. Everybody just did their job, and that was the deal.
A 4-game sweep over the Indians in August put the Sox squarely in front, and several weeks later, they went back to Cleveland and clinched the pennant.
The game I remember that we clinched it, I actually come in for relief from Wynn, and then I think Staley came in and threw a double play ball in the 9th inning, and we won it, and of course, everybody went crazy, and it was great coming back to see all those people at the airport. A thrill of a lifetime.
And that last night, I'll never forget it, because they had a man on base, and Vic Power, who was a good hitter against our ball club, was at bat, and Jerry Staley was out there pitching for us, and he threw the ball, and he hit it pretty good. Louis stepped on second base himself, threw the first double play, and we win the pennant. And, you know, for a moment there, then, oh, man, we won.
It was fantastic. I mean, everybody was going crazy. They were blowing the horns, you know, and firecrackers were going off. So what if somebody didn't shoot somebody? But everybody had a ball.
There was a long celebration. As far as coming off that plane, oh my God, there was, I don't know how many thousands of people. And it was a weird hour for them to be there, really, you know. And the sirens were going.
I just tried to get a cab, try to get home quick, because it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I never see so many people this early in the morning, you're on the street. I just went home. It was real nice.
We came into, of course, the old Midway, yeah, and there were so many people there, and that was late at night, too, because we came back from Cleveland that night. And it was a dream come true. Those are things you dream about, you know.
All right. 59 White Sox. Boy, they did have some good pitching. Wow. But right here, the lights have returned. The players are on the field. And Coelho taking his warm-up tosses, getting loose. And we will resume this game with Ramon Castro at the plate. There's one out. Paulie just missed hitting his 40th home run. Second of the ball game. Leading off this inning in the deep left center field. Andrew Jones walked. And the count 3-2 to Castro.
Coelho, obviously, he'll be given as much time as he needs to warm up, but you wouldn't think it would be quite that long.
And as he takes his tosses, a reminder, you can visit the official online shop of the White Sox. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source. Shop at WhiteSox.com.
Sox fans, you can manage the game along with Ozzie Game by logging on to WGNTV.com right now. You can click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect all the game stats and information while you're watching at home. WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com is brought to you by Columbia College of Missouri. On campus and online classes fit your schedule and your budget.
All right, so Coelho is ready. And here we go. 8 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for our guys. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 6th inning. High into short left field. 21-minute delay. So here's Viciedo. And 1 for 3. That 2-run homer. 5th, opposite field. High, towering drive. And that game in Kansas City indeed is over. And as we speak, with the Yankees having an off day today, Rays and New York are tied at 94 and 65.
Pretty impressive race going down to the final weekend.
Yes, it is. Boy, that wild card, did that ever light up postseason races?
There is no doubt.
Mercy. Tank and count 1 and 2.
Well, he's never seen a pitch that he didn't like.
No.
If he gets any part of the bat on it, he's going to hit it pretty hard.
Got him. And that'll retire to the side. We're into the 7th, leading by 6.
gives up 2 runs on 5 hits. He walks 3, he fans 6. Sergio 2-2 ERA, a touch over 3 on for the 56th time. And he's got a 6-run lead. Comfortable lead at this point. Sergio has also had a terrific year, and this is his first full year of pitching.
Oh, he's been terrific. Just terrific.
Imagine when he gets some sort of an idea how to pitch.
Yeah.
It could be some weapon out of that pen.
Lars Anderson will lead it off. He has thrown some leather tonight. He's 0 for 1. And that 0 for 1 was a hit taken away from him on a brilliant play by Morel at third. 0-1 to count. And that's off the plate. That's going foul. So the count 1-2.
Anderson, another guy that came up through the Red Sox system, and he was drafted way down, 18th round in 2006. Doesn't have the big power you would associate with a corner infielder, however.
That's to the backstop. Colorado just thumping Minnesota 11-2. The game in the top of the 8th at Target Field. He gone. Pull the string on.
Final weekend of the season. It's going to be an interesting one as we take a look at a good changeup that Sergio will work on, getting a feeling for that. Tampa Bay will continue their series at Kansas City. And the Yankees will be at Boston for the final 3. You know, Boston would like nothing better than to beat the Yankees 2 of 3 in that series.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference what Boston does in this series when they get up against the Pinstripes.
The Andy Pettitte against Daisuke Matsuzaka in the game tomorrow.
Well, it's just like when we play the Cubs. It doesn't make any difference what either team has done. When that series comes up, you can throw all that out. But that puts Minnesota, they're going to lose that game to Toronto. 1 game back, but behind both of them for the best record, home field advantage.
Ricky Romero goes against Pavano in that ball game tomorrow night at Minnesota.
Well, if Romero is right, he can be as tough as anybody. Boy, that game he pitched against us in Toronto, we had no chance.
Especially with all the left-handers in that lineup.
He gone.
2 up, 2 strikeouts. Johnny Danks finished it up with 5 strikeouts. 6 overall, but he struck out the last 3 he faced, and Sergio Santos has struck out the first 2 he's faced.
And here's McDonald. Takes ball 1. And a reminder, first 25,000 fans tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday in the series against Cleveland in attendance will receive a Dick's Sporting Goods game card worth $10 off any purchase of $50 or more. Dick's Sporting Goods now with 18 convenient Chicago area locations. And remember, every season starts at Dick's. The 1-1 pitch. Takes it up. and takes ball 2. High and way foul. He goes. So he strikes out the side. 6 consecutive strikeouts for Sox pitching. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 8-2. Bottom of the 7th inning. Sox with a 6-run lead. Grand slam homer by Paul Konerko in the 4th, and a 2-run blast by the Tank, Diane Viciedo, in the 5th.
Rich Hill comes on. He's going to be the 4th. The Red Sox pitchers, 1-0. Has yet to give up an earned run. Originally brought to the major leagues by the Cubs. This is 4th outing as a member of the Red Sox. He's got a great curveball. That's been his big pitch, and we saw him once in this series. And he threw a lot of curveballs.
I know one thing. He threw very few fastballs.
Yes.
So here's Morel. Brent. 0 for 2 as he robbed Lars Anderson of a hit on a terrific play. Anderson robbed him of a hit on a terrific play. 0 for 2 with a walk. There's a fastball.
The drop down sidearm, which is something that he doesn't normally do, especially to a right-hander.
And there's a shot, base hit. Got down with a breaking ball right there, and then got hammered.
That's one of the reasons why you don't like to drop down. If you're a left-hander to a right-hand hitter, right-hander to a left-hand hitter, it's just they see the ball all the way. This might have been deceptive to a left-hand hitter. But for a right-hand hitter, all Morel did was track that ball. It stayed on the same plane a long time, and he just smoked it into left field. It's something that John Farrell will talk to Rich Hill about.
Here's Diaza. He has walked, double, scored. That one-out double started that 4-run 4th. Yeah, there's the drop down sweeping curveball. Piazza does not give an inch up there. There's a strike, and the count evens at 1. Texas beat the Angels 3-2 down at Ranger Ballpark. And there's a fastball for strike 2. Milwaukee thumped the Mets 9-2. So that puts the Mets a game behind Florida. That's now 18.5 games back.
It's running out of time.
Yeah, they got to put a late rush on him.
Play into winter ball.
Well, I'll tell you that situation there is
77-82 for a whole lot of money.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out with Morel at first base. And they're going to get the guy first. Now go to second base, and not going to get him. Speed of Piazza right there. Cause that.
Well, it forced Lopez to make a decision a lot more quickly than he wanted to make. If you're going to make this play, you've got to run as hard as you can at Morel and hope that you get Morel starting back to the bag. You take 2 or 3 more steps, because he had him by a good 2 steps, but by not running him back, you let Morel go into second base. That was just not real good defensive execution by Lopez.
And here's Lillibridge. Grin is 0 for 3. Fouled into the LG Skyline Club seats. Sox trying to pick up their 86th victory. Got the Indians coming in tomorrow night. Make your plans to be with us here at beautiful US Cellular Field. Tony Pena, who has had 2 starts and done himself proud in both of them. Lowry's got him. 2 down. And his opponent tomorrow night, Fausto Carmona. And that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet Plus if you can't make it to the ballpark. Then on Saturday, Mark Burley against Carlos Carrasco. And that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. Final game of the season on Sunday. Edwin Jackson against to be announced for the Tribe, and that game over WGN. And it's time to take a few weeks off and start thinking about spring training 011. Glendale.
It's always just a very exciting winter. Get a chance to see what the moves are of all the teams, how they keep their rosters, what free agents they go after, what deals they make. I get a chance to see the Arizona Fall League, which I really enjoy. For those of you who really want to see some great young players, that's a terrific place to see them, because every team sends 6 of their best youngsters down to the Arizona Fall League. You get a chance to see all 30 teams and some of the real fine players.
The 0-2 pitch to Juan, who is 3 for 3 tonight.
That was almost sit down and swing time.
Guinea squat.
That was a good one. Take a look at this. Is the most unusual Yes, sir. Little bailout. Broke the bat.
One also has stolen 3 bases tonight. He has 66 on the season. He scored 3 runs. But also Sox Fest coming up. That'll be January 21st, 2nd, and 3rd. So call 866 Sox game or WhiteSox.com and check in on ticket availability for Sox Fest. We've got some deals going on right now about that.
It'll be 65 degrees, I understand.
Boy, I'll tell you.
For those 3 days. Just won't
not
be
here
here.
in Chicago.
Some nice weather last year. Not bad.
But to me, it doesn't make it ever that cold. I just don't lose any time. Stay right there. Got great room service. Good food up in the players' suite. Oh,
that's pretty nice.
Go up there.
I just bring a cut in there.
Yeah, well, I lose that one. That's going to be caught by Hall, and they'll retire the side. We do get the leadoff single by Morrell. Strand 1. We're into the 8th, leading 8-2. And Kevin Cash will be the hitter. Face Santos.
Going to break that streak of 6 straight strikeouts by Red Sox hitters.
Fouls that one down, and the count evens at 1. And that is popped up right side. Delivery's been called off by Piazza. And that's out number 1. And then that Cincinnati 9-1 victory over Houston. Bronson Arroyo picked up his 17th victory of the season. 17-10. Last year he was 15-13.
Pretty tough pitcher, especially against the right-handers. He's got that side-wheeling breaking ball that just starts out with a lot of spin on it, just keeps on breaking away from the hitters. Plus he can hit.
Navarro fouls that back. He's hitting 147, no homers, 4 RBIs. Yeah, he was the kind of guy I hated to face. Right-hander with a big sweeping breaking ball. As that's going to be playable for Alejandro. So that's out number 2. That's pretty good, though. 32 wins last 2 seasons.
He's one of their better ones, and they've got some really good young ones. Volquez and Cueto both have a chance to be terrific. They got the young kid in the bullpen, Chapman, that they're going to use out of the pen.
They got some good players over there. Otto,
Bruce, Stubbs.
Good players. And on tonight's home improvement from Menards, Mike Lowell's career fielding percentages ranks him first all-time, just way ahead, really, of Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson and the Orioles. For all your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards. That ball hit deep in the center field. Andrew will not be able to get it. One hop defense. That's his 12th two-bagger.
That ball down and out over the plate. A fastball. And Lowell, who hit a home run last night in the 8th inning, tonight takes it just about as deep as you can. And now Daniel Nava comes on. Mike Lowell will get a hand. This is his final game at U.S. Cellular Field.
And here's the switch hitting shortstop, Jed Lowry. So if you're just tuning in, Johnny Danks in line to pick up his 15th victory. If we can get 4 more outs. 15 and 11. Oh, what a nice season. Improvement. One of the best young left-handers in the game.
His career high at 15. You'd expect more out of him next year. 25, he's just coming into the age where you can depend on his best pitching ahead of him.
Well, I lost a dozen golf balls to a friend of mine in spring training. As that ball hit down, I bet him a dozen golf balls that Johnny Danks would win 20 this year. But that'll do it. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 6.
You look at Paulie at 39 and say, well, he has a shot, certainly, at winning the home run title. Jose Bautista, whose career high was 17 home runs before this year, is 54 of them. As Michael Bowden comes into this one at 0-1 ERA, 5.68 on for the 13th time. We've also seen him in this series. He pitched 2/3 of an inning in the second game of the series.
Here's Alexei. Alexei's 0 for 3, 8-game hitting streak on the line. He also has walked and scored. Takes first pitch strike. Michael Bowden. Paulie on deck. One and one to count. Tall, lanky shortstop. And that's out of play.
In handy if you have an itch on your forehead.
That's thrown away, and the count 2-2. 8 runs on 11 hits and 1 error for us. 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors for them. Danks gave up that 2-run homer to Victor Martinez in the third. He went 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, had 6 strikeouts. John Lester bidding for his 20th victory, came in at 19-8. Let's get down, get down. Nope. Beautiful catch right there.
And that was an outstanding effort. And McDonald, even late in a game you're losing by 6, just flat out hustle. A very good catch. Takes a double or triple play from Alexei, and there goes the hitting streak.
Well, it doesn't make any difference what the situation is with the club. He is playing for a spot next year.
Impressive play.
Yeah, well, he's looked good against us. Won it. The Boston sacrifice punts, made the plays defensively. In that series in Boston, swung the bat well.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's played very well.
So here's Paulie. Paulie is 2 for 3, just missed another home run. He hit that grand slam in the 4th. That's his 9th career grand slam, 39th of the year. He now has 111 RBIs, and then just missed another one in the 6th. And slow in the count, 2-0.
Scott Linebrink throwing in the pen.
And the count 2-1. And now 1-0 Cub victory over the Padres. Big loss for San Diego. Marshall a 1-7-5. Bell takes the loss 6-1. Snyder's single knocked in a run in the top of the 9th inning. Marmol picked up his 37th save.
Well, it's been just a tremendous year for him. He's going to average 16 strikeouts in 9 innings. All-time record.
Didn't start off very well. Boy, there was a lot of. That's ball 4. A lot of controversy about that. First couple of months of the season. Boy, did he make a strong finish. Last year's Cy Young Award winner Zach Greinke beat Matt Garza. Greinke 10-14, Garza 15-10. Kansas City won that ball game 3-2. And that'll bring up Andrew Jones and Beckham running for Canerco, who gets a big round of applause. Shame what's happened with Gordon with that hand injury.
It really is, because he started to look a whole lot better swinging the bat. He got hit, never came around.
It's hard to hit when you can't hold a bat.
He took a number of opportunities to take some swings. Every time he did, it still hurt him.
Well, he can't. He came back and he tried to play through it, and you just can't do it. I'm very familiar with those hand injuries. I've had 3 broken right hands, and it takes a while to get it back.
If you're planning to hit everything on the sweet spot, you don't feel the vibration.
Isn't that amazing?
But you can't.
Don't hit one on the fist, or don't hit one off the end of the bat.
Then it will sing to you for a day and a half.
Well, Paulie, that's one reason I love him. Paulie, in his career here, has played through so many injuries. He's had hand injuries. He's had thumb injuries. He's played through it.
A bone bruise on the thumb is a really tough thing for any hitter to get over.
And he played through it.
He did.
3 years in a row. And the count 2-2, and of course everything was just verified when he got hit in the face and would not leave the ball game. And then on the very next pitch in his next at bat, took him out of here.
The lip looked like Jim Carrey in Mask.
That ball hit high and deep into center field. Kalish now tracks it. 2 down.
Bones had a good year also. Opportunities he's had, which hasn't been all that many because AJ plays just about every day. So we've got a lot of production out of our catchers. They both stayed healthy. They've both been good. Ramon started with a bad back, and then things got better for him. Left to his own devices, AJ would play every day anyway.
Ramon, a single and a run scored. He's 1 for 4. Fouls that back. AJ ranks 25th all time in innings caught. That's pretty good. And the count 2-1. Next on the list he's going to pass will be Thurman Munson. And the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. 8-2 good guys. And Johnny Danks also with those 6 strikeouts tonight set a new career high with 162. And that'll do it. We're into the 9th, leading by a half a dozen.
And Scott is 3-2, ERA 4.47, out for the 52nd time. Johnny Danks for 6, gave up 2 runs. Sergio Santos came on for 2. He gave up just 1 hit, Fanning 3, not walking anybody. A fine performance for him. And now Scott Linebrink to try to wrap it up. I think it was the 21-minute light delay.
Ryan Kalish will start it off. Looking for it, got it, and fouls it back. He's 0 for 2 with a base on balls. Just tuning in, Sox with 8 runs on 11 hits. 2 home runs in the game. Grand slam by Paul Konerko. 9th of his career, 39th of the season. He now has 111 RBIs. Just missed another homer. Also had a single and a couple of walks. Juan Pierre, 3 for 4, 3 runs scored and 3 stolen bases. So Pierre now with 66 stolen bases. He's going to lead the major leagues in that category. And White Sox record is 77, set by Rudy Law.
He's got to really turn it on against Cleveland.
That's a fair ball. Very quickly. Oh, nice play by Ramon. Perfect peg to the tank.
Well, Macedo gave him the good target. You've got to lean toward the inside part of the diamond because there is no angle. And Ramon gets there quickly. It's a good solid throw, good target, and a good play all the way around.
So here's Billy Hall. He has walked, grounded to third, and struck out. There's a shot fair down to the corner. So Hall's going to pick up his 15th double.
/200th career double.
And that'll bring up the first baseman, Lars Anderson. He was robbed of a hit on a beautiful play by Brent Morrell at third. Then he walked. Then he struck out. Outfield spread out. And there's strike 1 to the 23-year-old. First sacker. Sox, I mentioned, trying to pick up their 86th victory, and Ozzie trying to pick up his 598th career win, and this is 7th year. So you need 2 more wins after this to get to 600.
That's a pretty impressive start to a career.
That's into left field, and as you and I are aware of, a lot of fans are not aware of the fact that his first year in '84. We were leading the league until Frank Thomas and Mags Ordonez went down. Excuse me, in '04. And they both went down. Or else he might have won everything his first year.
Well, it took him to his second year when he won everything.
So here's Lopez. He's been in the plate once and struck out. Sox trying to make it 6 out of 7 over Boston in the season series. And once again, a reminder, final 3 games of the year starting tomorrow night. Tony Pena against Fausto Carmona. So Make your plans to be with us here. If you can't, that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Saturday, Mark Burley against Carlos Carrasco. And that game on Comcast Sportsnet. That ball in the left field, when it comes down, this ball game will be over. So Johnny Danks, indeed, pitched well again. Will pick up his 15th victory of the season, and he did throw the 2-run homer in the third inning to Victor Martinez. Outside of that, threw a lot of pitches, but still, Johnny Danks had himself a heck of a year.
I think the year for John Danks was just the start of what's going to be a spectacular career. Next year will be better. He learned what it took to go way past the 200 inning mark to maintain your stuff most of the season. Winning 15 is a nice solid year, and he's only 25 years old.
Well, I'm going to make the same bet from the same buddy next year that he is going to win 20. So we're going to try to
get the dozen golf balls back.
You got to chase it, right? You got to chase it. It's like in Vegas. You got to chase it.
It's good.
But the Sox now, indeed, 86 and 73, 13 games over. And 3 more remaining, so if we can have a good series, maybe come out of this year with an 89-win season. Now trying to get a post-game guest.
And regardless talk of how the last 3 end up, you're going to take a look at the amount of wins this team has got, and it's going to be more than just about everybody thought it would be. Because there's a lot of folks, I think, underestimated this team in spring training, taking a look at it with the question marks, and it turned into just a terrific year.
All right now let's go down on the field to our post-game guest, the man who cranked out his 9th career Grand Slam. That put us on top 6-2, 39th of the season. He now has 111 RBIs. Paul Konerko, nice going, big guy.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Paulie, Johnny Danks picking up his 15th victory. He had himself quite a season.
He did. I mean, he, started off the year on fire, and, it's nice to see him finish up the way he started. And, 15 wins is hard to come by in this league. So, he's only getting better every year.
Well, let's just touch real quickly now. You had a pregame press conference on your position after the season's over this year about your free agency.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're just going to see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of hurdles to get over between now and the end of the offseason. And, we'll see which way it takes us. I mean, not much else to say other than that. I mean, it's been a great year. It's been a great run here. So, thank everybody for the whole time I've been here. It's been a great run, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Paul, you've given our fans for 12 years now. I'll tell you what, a lot of thrills and everything else, and we're certainly hoping that we can get things worked out here and you can finish your career in that White Sox uniform.
Well, let's hope so. I hope we do.
Nice going, big guy.
Okay,
Paul
thanks,
Konerko, our guest, and we'll be back.